Hello, 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 kamusta, hola, everyone out there playing Splinterlands today. Thank you guys for hopefully maybe either watching this live or watching this as a replay. As I've said, if you've been paying attention in my stream, I've recently gone back to work, so I'm having less and less time to keep up with Splinterlands and do videos. I'm going to keep doing my best to keep getting content out there because I still love the game. I still love helping you guys, so thank you guys so much for the love and support. But today we're just going to do a quick stream to talk about some of the changes and updates that Splinterlands released. I finally caught up on the AMA for the most part. I finally read the article about the DEC reward changes, so I just want to get a quick little live stream. This is probably going to be somewhere, 15 to 30 minutes, no longer than that, so that you can rewatch it as a replay. And we'll hopefully get a chance to talk about the big news that everyone is talking about right now, which is another reward change to DEC. So if you haven't been paying attention, let's get into this right away. Again, this is going to be a short stream just to really get this information out there, to get my initial thoughts out there. This isn't necessarily a live stream about gameplay and giveaways, all that. Hopefully we'll do another one tomorrow on Monday. Trying to get into Silver 2, Silver 1, Gold, all that stuff. But initially, as I said, just want to talk about this Battle Rewards update because this is going to be, I don't know how big of a change. It's going to be really interesting here to see what happens. I want to get you guys' thoughts. So let me read the article here so that people that are just watching this after the live stream can get an idea of what we're talking about. And then I'll respond to the chat as you guys come in as well. So here we go. The recent reward changes for mostly bronze, but also for everyone. So if you haven't heard, I know a lot of people are covering this and you probably heard about it in the AMA. But what they're trying to do in Splinterlands, what the developers, the founders are trying to do, is they're trying to create a system of ranked battles that encourages people to continue to climb in ranks. Because it only makes sense, right? That if you're playing on an account, that your goal should be to get from bronze, learn enough, rent enough, buy enough, whatever, get into silver. Once you're in silver playing, your goal, your next thinking, like any game, you should be getting into gold. Then from gold to diamond. Just like, when I played League of Legends, obviously there wasn't the financial piece of it. But in any good ranked game, League of Legends, Valorant, who cares, Call of Duty, whatever, it was like, okay, I'm in bronze, now I gotta get better, I get into silver, and now I progress from silver, gotta get into gold, etc., etc. So that's what they're trying to do. What is happening is what they're saying right here. There's so many new accounts being made by a number of small people with the intention of farming rewards. And let's be honest, I'm one of them. You're probably one of them, right? One of the things that I said when I was starting to play 2 months ago is I recognize, okay, it's costing a lot to get in silver, right? Right now, I think I've estimated the cost can be anywhere upwards of $500 to buy enough power just to play in silver. Not even buy good cards, just to buy the cards with the best deal on power. And so my thought was, as many of you guys have done, let's just make multiple accounts. If we can make an account and hang around in bronze and get a bunch of rewards, let's make 4 accounts rather than spending so much in rentals to get into silver and gold on one account. We can just buy a couple more spellbooks, play on multiple accounts, and then voila, we're getting 4 reward chests. So, like back in the day, maybe you had to get into gold, silver 1, is that 4 reward chests? I can't remember, I think it's 4. Or I buy 4 bronze accounts, play in bronze, and I get 4 chests. You see that, like, for $40 2 months ago, I could buy and get the same amount of rewards as a silver player who would put $500 into the game. So that's what they're trying to get rid of, right? And that's what they did with changing the bronze loot chest rewards. They said, hey, we're going to give you guys credits instead of DEC. We're going to nerf the rewards so you're not getting as many cards, you're getting more potions, you're getting more credits, so that you'll have to take those credits, put them back in the game. So the idea is, let's stop encouraging so much multiple accounts going on. Let's stop as much as like bots as we can. I mean, they allow bots, but let's stop bots from just buying up one, $10 spellbook and being able to get so many rewards from novice and bronze 3. So that was their first thing that they made. What was it, like, I think the beginning of this season or maybe last season, they changed those rewards, right? Now what they're doing is taking even a step further because they're still continuing to see this problem. And so what they're going to be doing is now removing DEC rewards from ranked players for players in Bronze 3 and Novice League. So what do I think about this? So that's the first big change. And this is conflicting to me because I get what they're saying, right? They want to encourage people. They don't want you to be able to just buy a $10 spellbook and then all of a sudden you're earning, hundreds of dollars of rewards, right? So they're trying to nerf that. So the one bummer that I want to say about this, I think for new players, where it hurts as a new player, I'm trying to get in my mind, okay, yes, they're trying to make it more rewarding to players that have been here long term and are actually investing in the game. Makes sense. But I'm trying to think of it as a new player. If I was a new player today coming into the game, I would not be instantly making any DEC, which kind of sucks, right? Because in my beginner's guide that I made 2 months ago, I'm gonna have to pretty much remake that whole video now. Because in that video, my whole strategy as a new player for you guys was, hey, get into the game, just play a little bit, get those DEC rewards in Novice League, because you're not gonna own any cards. And then from there, you'll have DEC to rent. And if you just kind of follow along, you'll be able to rent and play into silver within 1 day. And maybe that's what Splinterlands doesn't want us to do. Maybe that's a negative thing that they're like, yeah, we want to stop that. They probably watched my video and were like, no, we don't want to encourage that. I don't know. So that's really interesting that these new players are now not going to be earning any DEC, so you can't build up your rentals. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to buy credits or put in other crypto on top of the $10 spellbook and then use that to rent cards, and then you'll finally be earning DEC. And hopefully, if you're good enough, you're getting more DEC than you're renting, and that will help you at least, then now not have to buy any more credits, and you're going to be just using DEC to rent. So it's kind of making sense, but I'm just thinking as a new player, that's going to suck because, before you could just buy the $10 spellbook. And honestly, it's not that much more to put in credits, but it's just one extra step, right? You're either converting your crypto or your PayPal, or maybe you don't have an extra money than $10. That does kind of suck for new players. Again, it's not too much more to ask to go rent to that. I guess another strategy you could implement is you buy the $10 spellbook knowing that you're not going to get any rewards, and what you could do is just keep playing for daily quests and end of season rewards until you get enough credits to rent. So it is technically still possible if you're getting those chests to then get enough credits to rent. So it's still possible to just buy the $10 spellbook, but I can already tell it's going to be a lot harder than in my new beginner's guide to do it. How I did it. So I'm probably going to have to make a new beginner's tutorial because instead of just earning that DEC, you're now going to have to say, well, if you don't want to put any extra money in above the $10 spellbook, you're going to have to grind for a while before you can even rent cards to get into Bronze 2. So that's going to make it difficult. Will it discourage people from getting into the game? I don't know, because it is still the #1 blockchain game right now, and it's still going to grow, in my opinion. I don't think it's going to do enough to put people off and not want to play the game at all. But it is going to make it a bigger pain to get started in this game unless you're willing to buy some DEC up front or some credits up front. So it's just going to create one extra hurdle. So that's the one bummer I see for new players. How that will go, we'll see. I think it's still worth it to start the game. And you can still progress into Bronze 2, 1, and Silver pretty easily with renting. But another question I have from this is, it seems like these changes are putting more and more pressure for all of us low-level players who are not putting in $500 to get into Silver. It's putting more and more pressure on us to go rent cards, which is pushing up the price of rentals. We've seen already that these changes have skyrocketed the rental market. Does that even make the rental system even harder to rent from, make it an even harder thing for new players to get started and for us to rent into Silver and to Gold? That's going to make it real interesting here. And on top of that, the next change that I want to talk about is each win, instead of using the rating squared, it's going to cube it. So, let's say you have 1,000 rating, The normal calculation, I don't know all the math behind it, would be to square your rating plus do some other math to see how much DEC you get. So 1,000 times 1,000. Now they're going to cube it, so what would that be? 1,000 times 1,000 times 1,000. So you can see it's not just tripling it, how much this rating is going to change. Whatever a cube to square is, I don't know the difference off the top of my head, but essentially the higher rating you get, the bigger cubing that is, you know, taking it to the exponential of 3, than it is to square that. That just, as you grow in rating, that's going to expand and expand and expand the rewards, which again makes sense for what they're trying to do in this game, which is to give more rewards to those at the top. So it's incentivizing people to get from bronze to silver to gold and into diamond. What I'm worried about is, someone said this, I think it was Harry. Let's see if I can find his comment here in my YouTube. He said it so well, or they said it so well. Let me see if I can find it. It was, yeah, Harry's Skinback. He said, what will be interesting is how much the DEC rewards change at silver. My worry is that the change may increase our rewards slightly because the increase in Diamond Champion will be a higher increase because we're cubing it instead of squaring it, and that's going to likely drain the daily pool quicker than before. So bronze gets nerfed, you know, diamond and all these things get a higher reward. So, you know, does that make even silver less profitable? We don't know yet. We're going to have to see what happens. It could be that maybe because the bronze nerf and all this changes actually make it more profitable to be in silver. We don't know yet. So that's going to be something to keep our eye on. And that could change things a lot, because if it indeed does make the DEC go down, it's going to be, you know, it's going to be a bummer for us trying to rent into silver, get all those daily chests and all that. So things are going to be really interesting. If silver is nerfed, then the question becomes, you know, do we have to rent into gold now to get a bunch of rewards? And renting into gold is going to be really hard. We're going to test that out this week. But think if everyone is trying to rent into gold. Remember how crazy the rental market went up when everyone's trying to now rent into silver? We've seen prices go way up. If everyone's trying to get 40,000 power or whatever it is to get into gold, no, 100,000 power, isn't it? To get into gold, think of how crazy the rentals will be then. You know, so it's like, if everyone's trying to get this 100,000 power to sit into gold, we're all going to be competing to rent so much power, it might be impossible. It might not be worth it at all. So we don't know. It could be, again, that silver rewards are actually better here soon, and you know, maybe that'll make you know, thumbs up for me, or it might be nerfed and it's like, what do we do at this point? So we're going to be having to do a lot of testing. We don't know how silver is going to be affected. Obviously bronze 3 novice league, they're going to be nothing. So that's definitely going to affect you. You're going to have to now rent and use my rental guides to get at least in a bronze 2. So that is going to make it interesting. Maybe if the rental prices go even crazier, those that have been playing for a couple months like me, that, you know, now we have what do I have, almost 5,000 collection power. I can almost sit in bronze 1 without having to rent. So maybe it's more profitable just to buy some cards and sit in bronze 1. You know, if you're a new player, that's going to suck. Probably that's going to be anywhere from $150 to $200 of card power. And that brings us to another question. Should we start converting this DEC I'm holding to get the SPS airdrop back into cards, because card prices might go up if the race for card power just continues and continues to increase? So that's going to be something that we all need to watch, because that is going to make things very, very interesting, especially if more players continue to come into the game like they have. Rental prices, it only seems like the problem is going to get worse and worse. So I'm interested to see if the silver rewards are nerfed and all that. Maybe they make changes again. Who knows? It's hard to say what they're going to do. You know, they're talking about the AMA. They're trying to figure out what's the best system. And, you know, we got to give them time. We got to give them patience, because this is a new problem that they're having to work through as developers of the game. So right now, expect a couple weeks of some pain, maybe. If we're lucky, maybe those who are renting into silver, it'll be better for us. But if not, maybe expect some pain, and for them to have to spend a next, you know, couple weeks to a month or two to really figure out and fine tune this DEC battle reward. Remember, there's so many new players coming in that they haven't had to deal with these problems before. And so now we're going to have to just see what happens, and hopefully the developers respond correctly, both to incentivize what they're trying to do is get people to climb the ranks and ratings, but at the same time, hopefully they don't screw over new players so much that it just makes it hard for us to earn anything in this game. And you know, you might be thinking too, Chaos Legion, well, maybe that will relieve some of the pressure. If you watch my Chaos Legion live video, honestly, the card power, because it's cut in half from other previous drops, even with the high supply, I don't know if the power is going to be enough to solve the rental crisis that we're having. It might help. It will help for sure, but how much it will help is yet to be seen. So I don't know. It's going to be really interesting for us who are newer players to this game. I'm going to continue to make guides to hopefully help you guys as we test things out. We'll have to see how profitable is silver anymore. Is it worth it to go for gold? Obviously, if you're in Bronze 3 Novice League, you better get out real quick as you can. Go rent some cards, get enough reward cards to get yourself, what is it, 3,000 power to get into Bronze 2, I believe? So, oh, okay, Bronze 2 is only 1,000 power. Okay, so I was wrong in that. Buying enough cards to get into Bronze, what is it, Bronze 1,000? It shouldn't be too much. I want to say it was like 2 DEC per card power is what I estimated. So you're talking about 2,000 DEC. So you should only have to spend maybe somewhere 20 to 30 bucks to get into Bronze 2, which isn't too bad. But honestly, like even then, the Bronze 2 rewards aren't great. So we're still trying to aim for at least silver. I don't know. Let's get me to stop talking here and see if there's any good things in the chat that we need to talk about. And again, this stream is going to be real short. It's only going to be probably another 10 minutes or so. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. I just want to get quick thoughts out there about these DEC rewards being changed again. Mr. Rain, bots will be the death of NFT games. They certainly could be. One of the things that might be good about this change, again, is that they don't ban bots, but you know, if bots are just thinking they'll come in here and just, you know, farm these Bronze 3 and Novice rewards, they can't do that anymore. So they're gonna have to get sophisticated bots. And now that they're rewarding more DEC for your higher rating, maybe bots, unless you're buying up, you know, super OP, you know, Llama Kron combo, bots probably don't have a high percentage win rate unless they're buying super overpowered cards, right? So that might nerf bots who are in these lower tiers as well. So that could help. I don't know. I think they want more people to grind the game more, says John. I agree. The problem is, the one bummer I would say is this 15,000 plus power to get in silver is a little rough. Like, we can rent to get in there, but buying enough power, as I said, is $500 to get just into silver 3, which is a pain. And to get into gold, what would that be off the top of my head? You know, that's a little over 6 times that. So we're talking about spending $3 to $4 grand to buy enough cards to get into gold 3, just for power, not even to compete in gold, you know, with some good cards. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting with NFT games. It's like, yeah, they want you to progress in your rating, and that makes sense. But how does that now work with the fact that we're having to pay so much to get into the game to get into higher tiers? That's so different than League of Legends or Valorant or Call of Duty, because you're not paying anything to get better at the game. With this game, you are. So I don't know. They talked about Chaos Legion and the new modern format. They're probably not going to reduce the power limits into these leagues, but I hope they take a second look, and they might. I kind of doubt it based on the feeling I get from listening to their AMAs. But that's one thing I would love, is modern format. Maybe even just reduce silver 3 to like 10,000 if you're going to make silver so rewarding. 10,000 is at least less than 15,000, right? Or reduce our cost from 500 to maybe like 300. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do. Robert, I do giveaways, yes, mostly from the community. When they give cards to give away, I give away, and maybe we'll be able to do one tomorrow. Let's see. Just try to have fun playing the game. Yeah, it's true. It's totally true. You should be having fun, and that's one thing I want to keep in mind. While, yes, the rewards and the financial part of it is a big part of the game, that's a great reminder, Mr. Rain. We can still just have fun with the game, even if we're I love to say, you know, even if we're earning like $5 a month, right? For whatever reason, there's this like myth right now that everyone wants to get like millions of dollars from playing these NFT games, right? But even if we're only earning $5 a month from a game, think about that compared to what we're used to. I'm so used to just spending $60 into a Switch game and getting zero of that back ever, right? You're just giving Nintendo, here's $60, I got the game, and then I'm done, you know, after a few hours of gameplay. And so the fact that we can't make any money is a cool invention. So good reminder, Mr. Rain. What's stopping them to nerf silver next? They obviously only care about whales. I don't know if they only care about whales. I don't know if that's true. It's a very tough balance, and I get the feeling as a new player, yeah, it sucks that, you know, whales are earning more, but at the same time, think about it as a new player. Let's say even if you don't, you know, spend thousands of dollars now and you slowly grind these reward cards and other things, and over time in 3 years, you're looking back and you're like, hey, I'm almost kind of a whale just by playing this game for 3 years. I want to be sitting on the other side and saying, hey, they're still rewarding fairly old players in this game. So it's such a new concept, this NFT game market, guys, that it's hard to balance. How do you help new players and how do you reward old players? And you have to do that well, or we've seen games that, hey, all players get the same amount of rewards, all new players, doesn't matter. And we've seen games like Crypto, Blades, and other stuff tank because of that. They're just giving out too much rewards. So how do you balance the economy is something they're really struggling to figure out and balance because it's so new, right? And there's so many new players. It's going to be interesting. Crazy Cato, $100 on 2,500 power. Yep. As I said, you're probably going to need $500 to buy enough power into silver right now. People need to accept that we need to spend real world money to invest into this game. It's not meant to be a free to play game. You wouldn't invest $100 in the stock market and expect to get rich. Yeah. I mean, if you're only putting $10 into this game, again, if you're making $5 a month by spending $10 once, that's still a good deal, right? that is, I don't know, it is what it is. I don't think they realize they need new players to feed the economy. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they know that, but what they're trying to prevent, again, what they're trying to prevent is new people coming in or people making multiple accounts. Because again, as I said earlier, 2 months ago, it was way better to make 10 accounts than to actually spend money to get into silver. So they're trying to dissuade that. But again, that's my concern. I agree with you, is how do they dissuade that without screwing over new players? And so that's going to be tricky, and they might have to update this again. This is one update. Maybe they update it again and come walk back on some of their decisions. We don't know. We don't know. Save up BAT tokens to buy credits. That could be, yeah. They should lower the power for each league. Well, they're not going to do that now with this current format, because that's going to screw over people who did buy a bunch of cards. I feel like they could potentially think about doing that with the modern format, because that is going to be a new format. I don't know. I don't get the feeling that they are going to change, but it would be nice for us new players. I don't know. Let's see. Lower their power ranks. Yeah, again, that's what a lot of people would love, right? I'm getting to the point where I'm interested in other projects now. Can't think of spending more money into this game if it's going to get less and less. Well, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say, because it's still, in my opinion, the most stable and best NFT game out there. Of course, there's other projects being developed and they might overtake Splinterlands. Even with these changes, I still have a lot of faith in the developers and the founders to figure it out. Again, while this may feel rough for all of us, what I'm curious is not this change, but what do they do over the next couple months? I know from what I've seen by them that they're going to continue to monitor things and they got to make changes. It's not going to be easy, guys. It's an NFT project. Again, they're one of the leading games in this space and they're growing at a rapid rate. So they're going to have to continue to tweak things. I'm not just trying to say that to, you know, make it sound like it's okay for Splinterlands. You know, I'm not trying to like give the founders and developers a free pass. What I'm saying is we can't base every decision about Splinterlands based on this one update, because they might make future updates as well. They're trying things, they're changing things, and who knows, in a couple weeks or a couple months, they may make changes again that actually help more to the Bronze and Silver League. I don't know. It's going to be hard to see they're trying to balance how do we help new players and how do we help players want to actually grow in the game and move into different leagues. So I don't know. It's going to be really interesting, but I love your guys' thoughts. I understand that, yeah, it does feel kind of bad, right? For a lot of us who are in these lower leagues. Again, we don't know if silver is going to be officially nerfed or how much the changing of cubed player rating versus the square amount. We don't know exactly the math on that and how that will look for silver. We might get a small bump in DEC rewards at like silver 3, 2, and 1. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to watch when all this takes place. So that's just my initial thoughts. I wanted to do a short stream today about that, so let's wrap that up. Let me finish your guys' last comments. I was gonna make a video on this, but I didn't have time, so I just want to do a quick live stream, so whether you're watching live or later, it still is watchable. So last couple thoughts here. And yeah, once you make your return on investment, anything you're making is profit, and we should be grateful. Yeah, because in video games, we've never made money, so the fact that we're making anything is pretty cool. No giveaway today. We'll try to do a giveaway tomorrow. Any other NFT games you're playing that you'll think blow up? Maybe I'll do a different video about that later, but great question. Power requirements really limit progression. I agree. If a player can't earn along the way to slowly build cards, then it's just paid progress, which doesn't feel fun. I agree. That is something that they should look into. I will say on my main account, by having multiple accounts, I almost am in bronze 1 in collection power now, and if I spent my DEC, I could get there. I have probably put in, you know, let's see, 150 bucks into the game, so that is a thing. But I understand, yeah, it is hard to progress, especially if they're nerfing the novice and bronze 3 rewards and the chests. Even if you try to just get chests, you're just going to get credits. Maybe use the credits to rent and then you can progress from there, but it's definitely harder to progress for sure. It was nerfed today. I got 8 DEC. Okay. All right. Yeah, without earnings, one can't even rent. Yep. So right now, you're going to have to spend more than the $10 spell book unless you want to grind daily reward chests and end of season chests, get credits, and then use the credits to rent. But it's going to make things really interesting. Let's continue to monitor it, and I'll make a video probably later in the week. I plan on streaming tomorrow. Today, I don't really have much time. I'll look for a later stream for you guys tomorrow. I think I'm going to try do one after work. So probably for you guys, if you know Eastern time zone, would be like maybe 9 or 10 o'clock. And so maybe some of you guys on the other side of the world will be able to get to see it in your morning and afternoon time. But today we're going to finish right there. I just want to get quick thoughts out about the updates, and we'll see and continue to monitor how it goes. And hopefully it's still profitable to be playing in silver. And we'll test out gold as well. I don't know. Again, let's try not to be hasty. It does feel bad, but hopefully they'll continue to tweak things. And I'm still hopeful in this game. I'm still hopeful. If I'm not hopeful anymore, I'll tell you guys. I'll be straight up. If I start thinking, hey, this game is not working out anymore, I'll move to a different game. Right now, I'm still happy with the game. I still think it's rewarding me. And we'll continue to monitor these changes. Again, if that changes, we'll figure out something else. But I still believe in the founders and the developers from what I've heard and seen. We'll see how it goes. But again, anyways, today, got it in the stream so it's not too long for those who are watching afterwards as a video. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. So have a great day, everyone, and much love, much appreciation. Hope you guys get something good in your daily quest today. Go get those legendary gold foils for me. Snap a photo and make me jealous, all right? Peace out, everyone.